turn now to Lagos State, where we're following developments in court, where Justice Nicholas Owebo has adjourned to next Tuesday to hear the application of former Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. He's seeking to halt the criminal charges of alleged illegal gun and ammunition possession brought against him by the federal government. According to the defense lead counsel, Joseph Daudu, the charge is in court brazen disobedience, end quote, of the subsisting orders of the court, granting the defendant bail on 25th of July and ordering his transfer from the facility of the Department of State Security to the Nigeria Correctional Service. The Federal High Court is expected to hear two fresh applications by Mr. Emefiele and the federal government. The first application, filed by the government, is seeking leave to appeal against the order of vacation judge, Justice Nicholas Owebo, which granted Mr. Emefiele bail. The second application, filed by the defendant, is asking the court to stop the federal government from further prosecuting him on the charge of illegal possession of a firearm, an ammunition, or any other charge. Kemi Fola-Adeyemo is in court. She joins me live for more on this development. Femi, we saw the drama, I think it was last week, between officials of the Correctional Services and the DSS. What's the updated court today?
All right, so even though that's the hearing of July the 25th, the court that Justice Nicholas Owebo had adjourned to November the 14th, exigencies on the ground necessitated that both sides come back to the court before the next adjourned date of November to make applications. On the part of the federal government, as you just said, the federal government, which still has, through the DSS facility, which still has Mr. Emefiele in custody following that dramatic rearrest after the last court sitting, is here in court asking the court to allow it appeal the order that said that Mr. Emefiele should leave the DSS facility and go to the regular corrections facility pending the fulfillment of his bail conditions. And on the other hand, the defendant, through his counsel, is asking that on the disobedience of the federal government through the DSS office in obeying that order, the court should not hear any other application of the federal government. It is also asking that because of that disobedience, the court should strike out the jurisdiction, the court should strike out the entire charge. So it's the defendant's application goes to the jurisdiction of the courts to hear the matter based on the controversial events of July the 25th. So we were here in court. The court has, since heard the matter for today. We were here in court. The federal government was insisting that it should be heard first, talking about its own application, because that application was filed since August the 3rd, but the defendant's application was filed only 2 days ago, the 8th of August. But despite strong position of the federal government that the court should allow it be heard first, the court said it will be an error and futility if it is heard first, and so adjourned to next week to allow the defendant make his application, and then it will hear that of the federal government.
Kemi Fola-Adeyemo live for us there.